I'm Carol Stevenson. I'm a Community Involvement Coordinator with Sacred Heart Community Service and the site coordinator for the Commonwealth 157 that does service learning there. And I'm really pleased to be here this morning to recognize the nominees for the Student Service Learning Award. So first I want to have stand Elsa Lin and also Indri Pasaribu, who's not here, but thank you so much to both of you and all of you really doing so much great community work and all your passion and commitment for our community. I would like to call up Duncan Cook so that I can recognize him and give him his award. Duncan chose Sacred Heart Community Service last fall for his service learning site. And he's done so much, been involved in all different programs there since then. He's been working on getting hygiene items for our homeless customers. He's also right in the midst of planning a community meeting tomorrow with a committee so that we can talk about community issues of concern and really do something about that. But more than the many programs and the many hours he's put in, what's impressed me is the motivation behind all of that work. Most of his service learning work was with our program JobLink, which works with people to help find jobs. And Duncan would come back from his shifts working with JobLink, and he'd be really passionate and excited about the individuals that he worked with one-on-one, working with every aspect of the job search. And he would talk about those people that he would sit down with and work on letters, cover letters and resumes. And he really learned about them and would put himself in their place. He would really think about the times that he had been unemployed and that frustration that you feel and the stress of not working and looking for a job and the rejections you get, how hard that is. Great and deep empathy, I thought, because not only that, he would think about those extra struggles that many of our customers face, like struggling with English or not really knowing how to use a computer when all of the jobs are online. So I was really impressed too when he would come into the seminars, and we'd be talking about those bigger issues, right? Those structural challenges, and that he could take those structural and societal barriers and see how they were affecting the clients that he worked with every day. So thank you so much, Duncan. Not just the service that you've been providing, but like the heart, and the mind, and the hands, and the work that you've done behind it.
That's really awesome. I try to be as invisible as possible, but if these things come up, it's not really that possible. But my life has totally been changed by my service at Sacred Heart. Like I said, I try to keep it private, because when I take off, I'm like, I have to go. They're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm volunteer at Sacred Heart. My friend's like, oh. And suddenly I'm a baby panda bear. So I try to keep it private, but it's to the point now where I just can't do it alone, and I'm having to out myself and get more people involved. I'm no stranger to public service. In my 10 years living in the East Bay, I worked with Rebuilding Together. I worked with Gilman Street, putting on all-ages punk rock shows, Food Not Bombs, things like that. I live in Campbell. For 3 years, I've helped produce videos for their educational museum foundation, volunteer journalism. But all of this has been really project-based, event-based. I show up, bam, it's done, move on to the next thing. Not to disparage those other wonderful organizations, but taking COMWIT 157 has gotten me involved in a more, dare I say, pure level of engagement with Sacred Heart Community Service. It's enabled me to buy into a compassionate, powerful organization and truly join the ranks. This is something where I show up every single week And I turn not to my administrators, who are wonderful, but I turn to the individuals, the people that I serve, and I say, what would you have me do? And getting choked up. Thank you.